The Frames Per Second podcast.
What's going on? It's your boy Nick. I'm here with Miss Naturally Nay.
Hello.
Kenneth Vienge.
Hola.
And Mike Seatown.
Yo.
And you're now tuned into the Frames Per Second podcast. And in this episode, we are doing a classic rewatchable review. Is this still continuation of Don't Be Scared season 2?
Yeah, man.
All right, yeah, I like it. We're doing again, like I mentioned, classic rewatchable movie, which probably started one of the more iconic franchises in horror, The Exorcist, 1973. Is that right, Mike? 1973, The Exorcist.
Okay, so Nick is making me host this one, y'all. So bear with me.
The horror expert, yeah.
So this came out the day after Christmas in 1973.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, day after Christmas.
That's funny.
Directed by William Friedkin from a screenplay by William Peter Blatty, who also wrote the novel. I read the novel when I was a kid.
As an adult, it's less about really the possession for me now, and it's about everything that's around it.
Yeah.
You know, the
detail,
car is,
yeah.
Kinderman, him, the cop being outside the window and seeing like the silhouette on the window when she's strapped in, and now it's like, wait a minute, this motherfucker can actually move? Like, it's there willingly, so it can actually, maybe, we don't ever really get answers. And that's the other thing. We don't see a lot of things, we're just told. Mm-hmm. And we don't get answers to things, we just kind of have to figure it out. So as an adult, going back and kind of trying to figure out those things, I really enjoy that part of it now.
Yeah. So I mean, this is easily one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Like I said before, it has not been touched. If you haven't already, do not watch part 2 because it's literally the worst follow-up film to anything I've ever seen in my entire life. It's absolute trash. But this, as a standalone film, part 3 is also amazing, but this is a standalone film. It's fucking perfect. There's nothing more that I could have asked from this movie. I think the acting performances are all extremely well done. The idea of subliminal messaging in a film, that was fairly new. And there's a lot more of that in the director's cut. The spider walk especially is the part that you need to watch the director's cut just for that, because it's fucking amazing. The only reason it was cut from this movie is because you can kind of see the wire. But as technology got better, they were able to kind of delete that. But being that this is one of my favorite horror movies, there's a lot of side things that you find out when you start researching the movie. One, that it was actually based on a true story of a person named Roland. I think his last name is pronounced Doe. But yeah, it took place in Georgetown. It was a kid that claimed to be possessed. But he doesn't remember anything that happened. They also took him to doctors and psychologists before they ended up turning to the church and got him an exorcism. So I found that interesting. There's also rumors of this being a cursed film set, because
I saw that, yeah.
Multiple people actually got hurt. So Reagan got her spine fucked up.
What?
From the scene with the bed where they were jumping the bed, she actually fucked up her back extremely bad. Chris, the mother, hurt her back as well. During that scene where Reagan slapped the shit out of her, and you see her fall on the ground, that was a hard fall. Real pain. So the way that was supposed to work is I don't know why they did it this way, but there's a person that had like a wire on her that pulls her.
To yank her, yeah.
To yank her. But apparently they yanked her too hard and it fucked her back up, and she had back problems throughout, according to the thing that I read, throughout the rest of her life. She had ongoing back problems over that. One of the other fucking interesting things is there's a scene where there's like a radiologist and Reagan is getting these tests done. There's a dude that walks in. He's just like you see him for maybe 4 or 5 seconds. He's one of the doctors. He was actually a serial killer in real life. His name was Paul Baton.
What?
He was a real life serial killer. And he was later on caught and convicted, but he was in this movie and they never chopped him out of it.
Wow.
Well, I guess in a fucked up way, it could add to the sense of scariness.
It does.
It does, yeah.
It's all this fucked up shit that
But
happens in this movie.
your first fun fact was about based on a true story. I felt like I thought this was like the original based on a true story type of, narrative when you hear horror movies nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They try to make everything kind of based off or loosely based off a true story. But when I saw this movie, I thought it was the one that set the tone for it.
Well, it never says it. in the film. It never says based on a true story in the movie. I don't think.
But I think like as far as like ever since then, like once you find out it was, all the other horror movies kind of like, all right, let's add that element to it because it makes it even more creepier.
Which it does. Yeah. But this was the reason I think this movie is so good is because one, there's so much attention to detail, and since then, no possession film has touched it. Like this was the original, and this was an example of the original not ever being topped. I have not seen a possession film since The Exorcist that tops it. All of the weird twists and turns it goes in, the fact that it opens up in Iraq and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
That is random,
you know. And then it goes back to that, and you find out why it started in Iraq. All of the small details, like I told y'all, with realizing that Reagan was doing a lot more shit than the film actually presents that she's doing. It's just, man, this is one of the best. This is top 5 for me. There's a lot of details that are in this movie, which is what makes it one of the best. But there's shit that you have to watch this 3-4 times before you start picking up like, oh, that's what that is, and oh, that's why that's happening.
Have you guys ever played with it?
Absolutely not.
I told you, I ain't fucking with that. This is a prime example.
Again,
Again, this is the prime example why I don't do that shit.
It couldn't have been my daughter. We burning all that shit. I ain't doing that. Who talking to you, Captain Howdy? Hell no.
Captain Hell no.
Okay.
I don't fuck with that shit.
But I'll get to this part real quick. So the part where the priest goes in and he sees the defaced statue with the big titties and shit. What did y'all take from that?
I don't know, because we never really got an explanation for what was going on.
I just figured the demon out here fucking shit up. He out here fucking with people.
Because that couldn't have been Reagan.
Why not?
Well, that I don't know, because we see, I mean, even though she's strapped, we do see some movement.
Help me out. Was this actually Linda Blair acting these parts out?
Yeah. The kid?
It was. Couldn't have been my kid.
Yep. So you said that you had something for that with the kid playing, because I didn't know if it was the kid.
How did they get away with it? Like, how did
73.
It's 73, but that's this. You know how they'll have these like propaganda nowadays with movies. Oh, people walked out. It must be scary. People puked. It must be terrifying. This really did happen in 73. People walked out of the film.
Hell yeah, I bet they did.
A lot of it was during the scene where she was getting the thing in her neck and the blood squirting
That was
out.
kind of creepy.
Yeah, they walked out during that scene, but it was really, a lot of it was during this scene.
Because that's a crazy scene.
She was like, lick it.
Yep.
I said, bitch.
She gave mom the fucking Red Wings. I was like,
the Red Wings.
damn. Wait, real quick, did you like it, Nay, or no?
No, I did not.
Okay.
She said no, it's some bullshit, and she don't ever want to see it again.
Please let us know what you guys think. FPS Podcast is the Reddit thread. That's also our handle for IG and Twitter. And we'll catch you on the next review. Yeah, peace.